All right, remember when I said the eagle gonna protect me, right? Yeah, it's the VA. You know what I mean? Um, you see how the feds could protect Whitey Bulger because he brings them. You know what I mean? He's that Trojan horse that captures other criminals and so on. You know what I mean? Um, that's the psychology of law enforcement. I mean, to be a drug dealer, sorry, if you're a drug dealer, they have to have drug dealer assets or crack addict assets and so on. When it comes to Whitey Bulger, the biggest enterprise for them was criminal, you know what I'm saying? And he was that nice, beautiful Trojan horse that invite other criminals to come to him so they could capture him. You see that? That's the psychology of all those, everything that in the past that have helped humans, the FBI, sorry, the law enforcement industry uses it. You know what I mean? All right. So what was going on? They wanted to kill me. I don't care what nobody say and stuff. You don't shoot at somebody rims because you're trying to pretend to provoke them. You know what I mean? My car crashed. My car accident. I don't care how much they paint that as something accidental. That was not accidental. You know what I mean? Could it seem like when the ambulance passed and those cars moving out the traffic and someone was doing that down here, it triggered a memory. I was like, oh Lord, I feel like back in Canada again. Your heart started pacing fast and so on. That's why I was making videos if I see any ambulances and stuff, man, or flashing lights and stuff, man, or anything indicative of when I crash my car, I'm breaking lights and stuff, and that's what I used to do. You know what I mean? I know the assets, so if they could watch my videos, they will agree with me because as soon as I see ambulances and shit, man, I pick up speed and boom, and I'm going. You know what I mean? All right. So what's going on? All right. So somebody had a bright idea. Um, since they had hold of my letter to DOJ, you know, let's provoke him to let's provoke him so he could go in the hospital and so on, and that's how we get rid of him. And then when I didn't leave and stuff, they used their mind control my wife and stuff, man. They put the order of protection against me, and that's how they got me out of there. Because reflect. Let's look at three. Okay, 'cause the message that I got to give to them is three, right? Look at JFK. Look at Malcolm X, and let's look at Martin Luther King. All right, all three had to do with the African American culture. Right, JFK was bringing a change to the African American aggressors. You know what I mean? All right, he was gonna invoke a lot of social justice acts and so on. Lyndon Johnson and his boys didn't like that. I don't care if they call it a conspiracy and so on. Let's stick to facts. Lyndon Johnson and his boys didn't like that. They had him assassinated. You know what I mean? They getting really good with assassinators and stuff, man. Case in point, I had a fake heart attack. Nobody to this day, my wife knows about it because she's kind of concerned. I don't have no weak heart. I mean, nobody in my family, nobody. I'm knock on wood, have died from a heart attack. You know what I mean? Because they love the VA and stuff, love gathering information about you and or hospitals and stuff, and they will give it to the government. The government will now distribute it now to the if it's needed now, will distribute it to the FBI and stuff when they making the when FBI analysis, just like CIA analysis could look at somebody and create an image and predict what a person could do and so on. FBI analysis is the same thing because they both instructed by the same school of law enforcement, both FBI and CIA. You know what I mean? And all criminal analysis, okay, all criminologists are educated from the same plate. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm on 5 minutes already. Wow, time creeping fast. Okay, so when it comes to people say, well, Malcolm X's own people killed him. You're right. You know why they killed him? Because he was making change to their structure. And I mean, because I remember people hate change, like Obama. You know what I'm saying? The reason why living up there, a lot of whites did hate Obama. You know what I'm saying? Um, they wouldn't say it that because he's African American, but they will definitely say because he was making a lot of changes that they was accustomed to. You know what I mean? Me, my wife came and put me in my house. You know what I mean? Let's move away from she put me in my house. Like I had a change of environment. You know what I mean? I was upset, especially because I was being forced to. And that's the thing with them, with whites. Like when they're being forced to do something, they're not gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna think they are right. Like I'm thinking I'm right. You know what I'm saying? Um, and if I explain everything to you, you will say that I'm right and my wife was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's the same thing with presidency. You know what I mean? When people making changes and stuff, and the majority is comfortable with what's in front of them, they will naturally tend to retaliate, and that's why they hated Obama. And again, they didn't hate Obama because of his skin color. They hated him because he was making too much changes. All right, now. So come back in now. So I'm talking it through, right? JFK, um, Malcolm X, because we discussed it, like even blacks will kill blacks when they say it's a conspiracy with the FBI and stuff. But anyway, even your own will kill you when you're making changes and stuff. And I mean, he was snitching. He was talking publicly about the great Muhammad. And I'm saying Elijah, what is his name? Elijah Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Talking about how he used to having affairs with his own woman, the woman of his own organization and so on. So okay, they sent him out. They sent him out to kill Malcolm X. Then of course Martin Luther King. The FBI didn't like him, and I mean he was making too much advances too fast, too much changes too fast. You know what I mean? I won't even say too fast. Just like you know what I mean, he had a lot of power and stuff, man, and changes again. So they had to send the boys and stuff to assassinate him. Case him now coming to me now. I had Carlites, right? Um, when they realized they couldn't stop me, cause like, okay, we can't catch him with no DUI. We can't fake no DUI to catch him with some DUI. We can't fake no drugs to catch him with no drugs. You know what I mean? Um, okay, the woman that he's having sex with and so on is he going to their houses or he bringing them to his house. You know what I mean? Cause they would try to tell me like, no, let's have sex in the car and stuff. I know our place to go. I was like, no, man, it's fine. Like, let's go back to my house or let's go to your house. You know what I mean? You know. Um. So so they couldn't catch me doing anything illegal. They decided to fake my illness against me and so on. You know what I mean? Trying to get me angry on the road. And that Dr. Grande, for the fact that if you have inside knowledge and you could talk so calmly and be relaxed about it, this is not me being scared to saying that. That, okay, I'm not going to call you the devil. I'm going to use the ocean and say, like, about the symptoms that is devilish. That's what you're doing there is devilish. Because you're fooling a lot of people. You're going to capture them. And then later on, they're going to be in the back of your cape, being dragged along, slowing you down, cursing at you. Okay. So they was trying to provoke me on the road based on my mental illness. So when they actually got hardcore evidence now, they start to do the part. You know what I mean? And what probably frustrates them even more when I started smoking pot a year later. Because they was going nonstop. They were really trying to trigger me. You know what I mean? Because I think with triggers and stuff, like if I am a problem to them and they want to get me off the road because I'm not a good guy, they can't, like, I found something that they couldn't stop, which is Carlisle. They couldn't stop that. Case in point, even when I came to Philly, I went up in the hospital and I came out and so on. They changed up my blue car. My blue car has way more lights than the white car and stuff. And they went and decode the electrical circuitry of that and so on. So now when I'm driving, it doesn't come on. You know what I'm saying? When I'm parked, it plays and stuff, but when I'm driving, the minute I start driving, it comes off. You know what I mean? And they will probably testify to that part. If they can't testify to anything else, they will, because if I could have somebody record me and stuff when I'm driving, they will see it. You know what I mean? And if again they try to make it look like it's defective, that's on them. I'm not trying to fight them anymore. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's like the devil, man, and it is. I'm using the ocean principle. You know what I mean? Um, I'm not the doctor. I'm not giving no diagnosis. I'm just talking about the symptoms around it. That's devilish. Cause next thing too, like always say like, don't curse. If I call a next human a devil, I'm cursing that human. You know what I mean? And it's a law of karma. Like when you curse somebody, be prepared to get cursed back. Not be prepared. I'm telling you, you're gonna get cursed back. All right? That's like killing somebody and so on. Everything has a balance, man. And it's a typically a balance is of two, but so for some reason, like I'm getting a message of three because um, Lee Harvey Oswald killed the president. Okay, so that's two people died right there. But Jack Ruby killed Lee Harvey Oswald. So three people died in the period of what, 5 years or whatever? A short time? 3 years? 3 years. Three. You know what I mean? So that's man made, but like the spirit of God is paying attention, and He answered back with threes. You know what I mean? It could be threefold, three times. You know what I mean? 3 years, 3 days, 3 months. Um, with three people. You know what I mean? The power of three, just like a triangular. The strongest shape to hold any structure is a triangle. You know what I mean? Remember that carefully. Yeah, I was applying for a lot of construction jobs at Fort Drum and with the engineering department at Fort Drum, in department of not department of engineering, but I think it's engineers, 7 engineers or something like that. I was applying for, and I got a physics degree. You know what I mean? Like them hiring people who, and I couldn't see all. You don't have access to anybody resumes and stuff, right? You know, but I know for a fact how my two supervisors who have GEDs got got supervisory roles and stuff. Came after me, got supervisory roles and so on. Um, the H&R department is the same thing for other people. And I always thought, well, hey, I have my degree, man. My degree's in physics. They got to give me an engineering department. That's where the money is at. They never, I was always overlooked. You know what I mean? And my buddy said to me one time, did I fart in church? Bunch of Jamaican dude. Like, nah, man. They have a lot of favoritism and so on. You know what I mean? And I was friends with the engineers over there because every day I'll go, I was allowed to go and talk to them and stuff. You know what I mean? So I'll leave work early and I'll go make friends and stuff because I was trying to get over there. Because my job was really hostile. You know what I mean? And even though it's hostile over there and stuff, it's fine and dandy because you're doing your passion. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I'm working for the government installing car lights. I don't care. I do it for free. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I did. Like, I gotta make a lot of money working on car lights, man. You know? But when you enjoying something, man, you do it for free. And I bet you a mechanic could testify to that. You know what I'm saying? You know, probably time is gonna pass by like, oh man, I wish I charged more money and so on. You know, but at the end of the day, you enjoy it, bro. Like, I I promise, man. I know my hairline looking messed up and so on, but it's because of the Puerto Ricans down here, the jacked it up. Like, I could cut hair and stuff, man. I never charge none of my friends any money. You know what I mean? Um, I will if I got money because they offered me money. You know. So that's should ring a bell a little bit in terms of having a passion over something. You know. But yeah, man. They wanted to kill me for real, bro. And I knew it. I knew it. Like my spirit told me like those guys were racist. For the reason that they could come so hard on you. And I mean on something like that, it's not because it's just change. It's something behind that. You know what I mean? You gotta be clever to use government resources like that and so on for something stupid like highlights. You know what I mean? Cause like think about it, man. Okay, I attempted. The only degree that I have in my hand is my bachelor's. Okay, I did not finish up my two masters. Okay, I didn't finish up the first one for teaching, and the second one in project management. I have like just a speech to give, and I could get my degree. But at the end of the day, I have not finished up my two masters. Right, I have nobody in law enforcement. Let me think carefully. Or Mark Marie from Potsdam. I don't even talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Jason Streeter from Canton. He's a cop somewhere in Augsburg or something like that. I don't even talk to him. You know what I mean? I promise you, I never talked to anybody since I graduated 2001. End of story. Okay? All those cops out there and so on. How is it I came, found all this information about car lights and so on, randomly, and I beat them. And I beat pretty much everything they threw at me. Like the harassment, the ticket. I went to court. I didn't spend, in the name of Jesus, man. I didn't spend no more than 5 minutes in court. You know what I mean? I got there last and stuff, and for some reason, me being like there last, I got served first. She looked at it and so on. He asked me about where the car lights is and so on. I says it's under my car. He went and talked to the judge threw it out. I promise you, man. I didn't spend no more than 5 minutes in the courtroom. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably frustrating them. It's like, you know what? He is a problem. You know what I mean? Let's let's like not really get him in jail, but let's bring him to the point close to being in jail and so on. Let's get him a somewhere like a ticket for something that, cause like they could do that. I'm not. They could do that. They will do that. Right? If you, if they have you doing drugs and stuff, right? And you come and you quit doing drugs and stuff, and you drug free probably for like 200 years. I mean, nobody can live that long. But let's say, realistic speaking, like 10 years. Okay, 5 years. Okay, you've been drug free 5 years and stuff, right? But you um have the same circle of friends and stuff, right? And they upset with you for taxes, something unrelated, okay? But no, because everybody knew your history of doing drugs and stuff, right? All it takes is to them slip a little packet of marijuana and stuff, a little packet of drugs and stuff, whatever drugs that they have knowledge of you using or selling, and that's all it takes for you to go boom. Especially now that you have if you're on probation or like a parole or something like that, you know what I mean? They can make you violate that stuff because they have the resources to do that. They call them government assets. It's a real dirty game out here, man. I mean, they came at me on some real dirty stuff. They used my illnesses against me, and it's so funny. My illnesses was my strength. You know what I mean? Because the VA did that too. Because 'cause when I was leaving the army and stuff, right? And I had to go all this behavioral courses and stuff. They would tell us that like I'm a short and tough in short words and stuff. Stay away from alcohol. Alcohol is an inhibitant to more depression and this, that, and the other. Stay away from drugs. Drugs do this, that, the other. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from tobacco. Tobacco make you live long. The tobacco create cancer and stuff, make you live longer. Stay away from this, that, and the other. They give you, they call them coping coping mechanisms, coping skills. You know what I mean? And it always warn you about your anger problems and so on. And then at the same time too, like I'm always about image. Like my image gotta be if I'm going anywhere I'm going. Like I know I'm looking rough on camera and stuff because I'm still in bed. Um, Anywhere I'm going and stuff, man, I'm always like to pretend that like I'm that passage of in the Bible when Jesus stepping out every time his clothes is shining shiny white. I forget how the garments like snow. You know what I mean? Um, his garment is shiny white, man. You know. So I always remember that from that passage. Like image is everything, and that's how America was built because of Hollywood. Image is everything. You know what I mean? Every time somebody went on camera on for Hollywood or Hollywood is depicting anything in America, they wouldn't depict any garbage and beat up areas and so on. I mean, like I remember coming to America, my stepmother would say like everybody think America is the streets of paved with gold and so on, blah 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 blah. That's what Hollywood want people to think. That's why when it comes to law enforcement and stuff, we love law enforcement so much, even if they're wrong, because that was Hollywood was selling to the world. You know what I mean? Even us, Hollywood is selling that to us. You know what I mean? Because who are the police? Who are the police department of the world? United States of America. If anybody like around the world, Abu Dhabi or wherever, want to pick security forces, they don't pick their own. They pick Americans. You know what I'm saying? So how come how could America police the world and not police themselves? It's because of Hollywood. How Hollywood made it think that police could never do any wrong. And even the police department believe that too because they grew up watching all these police movies and stuff.